You are welcome. Let me set the screen. All right. So what we'll just be discussing today is important topics you are supposed to be focusing on right now when it comes to JAMB UTME. Like as I'm talking to you right now, there is no much time. Exam is starting on Thursday. A lot of people have already printed out their slip. Some of my friends, they are writing on Thursday as early as 7:30. That is to tell that you are basically left with 48 hours to prepare for your JAMB UTME. So I'll be listing out topics by topics that you are supposed to focus on, topic by topic, because this is not time to start reading all the topics. And let me tell you the truth, when it comes to JAMB, you get it, when it comes to JAMB, there are some topics that JAMB says or JAMB focus on more than others. That is the truth that you're supposed to know. There are some topics that JAMB focuses on more than others. So I'll be starting with biology. I'll be starting with biology essential topics. These topics are very essential. These topics are very essential. So I'll be starting with number one, which is the cell structure and the cell function. Cell structures and what functions. So number one, we have the cell structure and function. You have to understand when it comes to structure of plant and animal cells. Please understand it. Their organelles, study organelles like the nucleus, which houses the genetic integrity of the cell. Things like mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. Remember, it's also necessary for cellular respiration. We also have the ribosomes. Also learn about the functions of these different cells organelles. Also learn between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. They are very important. These concepts are very important. The second topic is photosynthesis and respiration. Learn about photosynthetic processes. Learn about the light and the light dependent reaction and the light independent reaction. Also study about the equations of photosynthesis. You understand the equations of photosynthesis is what carbon or dioxide plus what water. Normally which is what six molecules of carbon dioxide plus what 6 molecules of what water, giving us what glucose plus what water, which plus oxygen, right, which is what O2. Also learn about cellular respiration. Study aerobic and anaerobic respiration and their energy yield. The third topic we are supposed to focus on right now is genetics and heredity. Learn about Mendel's law of inheritance. Learn about the law of segregation and the independent assortment. Also learn about monohybrid and dihybrid crosses. This is the Punnett square and predicting outcomes. Learn about sex-linked traits like color blindness and hemophilia. Please learn about this. The next topic you are supposed to focus on is human anatomy and physiology. For the human anatomy and physiology, learn about circulatory system. For human anatomy and physiology, learn about the circulatory system. Please learn about the heart. Learn about the blood vessels. Learn about double circulation. And in the double circulation, understand how blood flows through the heart. It is very important. I dropped a video on 40 possible biology questions you are supposed to focus on, 40 likely biology questions, and if you follow the questions, you get to find out that some of this stuff I'm saying is directly from the past questions I am getting, because I've studied the past questions and I've been able to get these topics that are always recurring, and you don't have much days left, only 2 days as far as JAMB is concerned for 2025. So learn about the flow of blood through the heart. Learn about the digestive system. Study the organs and the enzymes that are involved in digestion. From the mouth, the enzyme that is involved in the mouth, which is the ptyalin. Please learn about it, which breaks down to give us the word maltose. So please learn about them. They are very important. Also study about the respiratory system. Understand gases exchange and the roles of the lungs when it comes to the respiratory system. The next topic you are supposed to focus on is reproduction in plants and animals. So under the reproduction in plants and animals, learn about flowering plants, learn the structure of a flower and the processes of pollination. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you. I can see one person online. Thank you. All right, so learn about the flowering plants. Thank you for joining the live. What we are basically talking about is topics that you're supposed to focus on in various subject by subject, chemistry, physics and biology. These topics are very essential, even English language, so we are going to digest them topic by topic. If you are following up, please just drop me a thumb so that I will know that you are actually getting what I am saying. So the next topic is reproduction in plants and animals. Reproduction is very essential. So learn about the flowering plants, learn the structure of the flower and the processes of what fertilization and pollination. Please learn about them. Learn about the reproductive system, the name of the reproductive organ, the male reproductive organ in plants, the female reproductive organ in plants. Please learn about them. Learn about self and cross pollination. Also study about human reproduction. Study the male and the female reproductive systems. They are very, very important. Also learn about the menstrual cycle and fertilization. Please learn about them. Menstrual cycle and fertilization. Also study about asexual and sexual reproduction, focusing mainly on binary fission. Binary fission in what? Amoeba. So it is important that you learn about the what? Sexual what and asexual what? Reproduction. The next topic in biology that JAMBs always set question on, thank you, I can see you, thank you, is ecology and ecosystem. I can give you JAMB biology questions right now and you get to find out that Egbobase, wow, thank you sister, thank you so much. Aside to you, thank you. So the next topic is the ecology and the ecosystem. If I give you the JAMB biology past questions right now, you get to find out that one of the topic that you always see question is the ecology and ecosystems. Learn about food chains and the food webs. Under the food chain and the food web, know that the food chain is what? A linear relationship, and the food web is a what? An interlinked what? Network. So learn about the producers, learn about the consumers, and learn about the decomposers. Also learn about the energy flow in ecosystem, learn about trophic levels and energy pyramids, learn about ecological succession, learn about study the primary and the secondary what? Succession. So it is very important. Ecology is not, or the ecosystem, when it comes to JAMB biology, it's not something you joke with. They are very, very, or it is very, very important. Also study about evolution. Evolution is as important as any other thing. Study about evolution, study on the difference, the different theories of evolution. That is the Lamarckism theory of evolution. Learn about the Darwin's theory of evolution, which is the theory of the natural selection. Also learn about the evidences of evolution, like the fossils. Learn about comparative anatomy and the molecular biology. Also study the different types of adaptation, focusing, note, the camouflage and the mimicry. This is where a lot of students used to get confused, especially the mimicry. The mimicry falls under different types of adaptation, so it is important that you learn about this mimicry and where it falls. Also learn about the transportation in plants and animals. So under the transportation in plants and animals, for plants, the transportation in plants, study the roles of xylem, phloems and transpiration. Study the role of xylem, the phloems and the transpiration. Also in transportation in animals, learn about the blood, learn about the lymphatic systems and learn about the circulatory system. That is for the transportation in plants and animals. Learn or know, or you must understand what is xylem, you must understand what is phloem and the role of transpiration when it comes to circulation or transportation in plants. Note that the mode of transportation in plants, or the conduction of minerals and water in plant, is known as translocation, and this is done by the xylem. So it is important that you learn about this. Also the next, or the last topic you are supposed to focus on in biology before I move on to chemistry, is biotechnology and application. Biotechnology and application. Learn about the DNA structure and their functions. Study replication, transcription and translation. Also learn about the applications of this biotechnology, that is for genetic engineering, for cloning and for PCR. PCR simply means the word polymerase chain reaction. So these are basically 9 topics that you must have by now follow up when it comes to biology biology as you are preparing for JAMB. So these are basically 9 topics. So let's move on to chemistry. JAMB chemistry essential topics that you're supposed to focus on, or you must have read for your JAMB exam. Number 1 topic as far as chemistry is concerned, and the periodic table. There's no chemistry without atom, there's no chemistry without periodic table. So you must learn about the atomic structure and the periodic table. Under the atomic structure and the periodic table, study about the what subatomic particles. I did a video on it today. You can check a video I did on the atomic structure. So learn about the protons, who discover protons, learn about neutrons, who discover neutrons, and also learn about the electrons. Probably also learn the years they were discovered by these scientists. Also learn about the electronic configuration. All these are what I did. I made a video on them today. So learn about the electronic configuration. Learn how electrons are arranged in energy level. Learn also the rules and the principles that govern what electrons what filling. The Albers principle, the Hund's rule, and the Pauli's exclusion principle. I've made videos on this today. I've made videos on them. Also study about the periodic trends. Pay attention to atomic radius, ionization energy, and electronegativity. And most importantly, memorize the first 20 elements and properties and trend. The first 20 elements, their properties and trend. Secondly, the second topic, chemical bonding. To learn about bonding, know the different types of chemical bonding, the electrovalence, which involves the complete transfer of electrons, the covalence, which involves the sharing of electrons, and dative bond, which is also known as the coordinate covalent bond, which involves the presence of a lone pair electrons. You must also study stereochemistry and mole concept. You cannot run away from stereochemistry as far as JAMB chemistry is concerned. So for the stereochemistry and mole concept, learn how to balance chemical equation. Please learn how to balance it, because in JAMB you will not be given much time. You are given 2 hours to answer 4 subjects. That is basically for every subject you just have 30 minutes for them. So you must learn how to balance chemical equations perfectly. And you must also know mole calculations. Learn how to calculate molar mass, numbers of moles, and Avogadro's constant. You must also learn about reactive masses and volumes. Under the reactive masses and volumes, practice problem questions on mass and gas law. So the next topic again you are supposed to focus on is acid, base, and salt. For the acid, base, and salt, if you can check here, I don't know whether you can see this. I'm actually studying acid, base, and salt, because I don't know whether you can see acid, base, and salt. The camera, I'm using my front camera. So I'm making a video. I'm trying to see how I can simplify acid, base, and salt. Tomorrow I'll be going live to simplify acid, base, and salt, and also teach you equations as far as pH is concerned. A lot of people don't know how to solve pH, so I will teach you how you can be able to solve pH. Tomorrow I'll be going live, so just stay tuned. From 10 o'clock I'll be live until when the live will end. So learn about mole calculations, learn how to calculate molar mass, number of moles, and Avogadro's constant. Also study we are talking about acid, base, and salt. So learn about properties of acid and salt. Know what an acid is. Also learn about neutralization reaction. Know that a neutralization reaction is simply the reaction of an acid and base to give us salt and water only. So you must learn about the neutralization reaction. Popular example is sodium hydroxide plus hydrochloric acid, giving us sodium chloride plus water. So you must be able to learn about the neutralization reaction. Also study about the preparation of salts. There are different salts, so learn about their preparation. Learn methods like crystallization and precipitation. They are very, very important. Then the next topic again you are supposed to focus on as far as JAMB chemistry is concerned is organic chemistry. Organic chemistry is very, very important. Under the organic chemistry, you are not supposed to dive too much. What you are supposed to focus on is on hydrocarbons, learning about the alkanes, and the alkynes and their properties. So you must study about them. Also learn about the functional group, that is the alcohol, the carboxylic acid, and the esters. the carboxylic acid and the what esters, and also learn about the various reactions when it comes to what organic chemistry. Let me just list out the various reactions when it comes to organic chemistry. Learn about esterification. Learn about additions in alkanes and combustion. Okay, addition in alkanes and combustion in alkanes. Please learn about them. The next topic again is electrochemistry. Under electrochemistry, please study about electrolysis. Study between sodium chloride and water, that is under electrolysis. Also learn your redox reaction. There's something I used to do when it comes to what redox reaction, that is the oxidation and the what reduction. So learn about the redox reaction. Note that oxidation is the loss of electron and reduction is the what gain of what electron. Also know the applications, study the applications like the uses of electroplating and the rest. Please, if you are following, I can see people online, please just drop me a love emoji or just click on the thumbs up so that I will know that you're actually getting what I am doing. And if you are just joining, I'm trying to give you topics that you're supposed to focus on as far as JAMB is concerned. In 2 days, I've just talked about the one in biology, so focusing, we are right now in chemistry before we move on to physics. So the 7th topic is rates of reaction and chemical equilibrium, the Le Chatelet's principle. So you must learn first of all the Le Chatelet's what principle and how changes in conditions will affect what equilibrium. Learn about how changes in conditions affect what equilibrium. Also learn the factors affecting reactions rate, that is the temperature, the catalyst and the what rest. So learn about them. Also study environmental chemistry. So under the environmental chemistry, simply learn about water, soil and what air pollution. That is for environmental chemistry, the water, soil and what air pollution. The next topic you are supposed to focus on as far as JAMB chemistry is concerned is thermochemistry. So under the thermochemistry, please learn about enthalpy changes, learn about or study about entropy, also study exothermic and endothermic reactions. Learn about the Hens law, that is HESS. Learn about the Hens laws. Practice calculating enthalpy changes using the word Hens law. And lastly, learn about heat capacity. Learn about the heat capacity. Learn formulas for what heat what transfers. Know that the formula for heat transfer is what Q is equals to what MC theta T. That MC theta T. That is the word formula for what heat what transfer or what heat what capacity. And the last topic that you must have read or you must have studied as far as JAMB chemistry is concerned is practical what chemistry. So under the practical chemistry, learn about titration what experiments, learn how to calculate concentration and what molarity. Also learn about qualitative analysis, study tests for cations, anions and gases. Then finally is the separation technique. Study about filtration, distillation and chromatography. Let me just give you a quick tip when it comes to what chromatography. Chromatography, the moment you hear spit, the moment you hear rate of migration, the moment you hear anything involving color substances, involving dyes, involving ink, know that the only separation technique you can use at that particular point in time is what is known as chromatography. Then when you hear about separation of a liquid based on their boiling point, the next concept that should come to your mind should be what the fractional or distillation. So it is important that you get this key concept. I made a video about it today in one of my live videos. You can check for it. I made a video showing you how you can be able, the moment you just see a question, you know the separation technique that is involved for it. So we are through with JAMB biology essential topics you are supposed to learn in 2 days, or you must have studied them. We are through with chemistry, and the last topic before I end this live is for JAMB physics. So JAMB physics is just 8 essential topics that you must have studied before going to write your JAMB exam. I believe at this particular point in time you have done your JAMB reprinting, your JAMB slip reprinting, and you know when you are writing your JAMB exam. So the first topic is mechanics. Mechanics in physics is the backbone When it comes to physics, mechanics is the word backbone. So you must study Newton's law of motion and understand the application in everyday life scenarios. The Newton's law of motion, the application in what everyday what scenario. That is to tell that as far as JAMB is concerned, as far as physics is concerned, JAMB is not asking you something that is what abstract. You must be able to apply what you have what learned. So JAMB physics is all about what application. So you must also learn about projectile motions, learn the equations of motion and how to analyze trajectories. As far as projectile motion is concerned, learn how to learn the equations of motion and how to analyze what trajectories. Also learn about work energy and power. Know the formula for kinetic energy, potential energy and power. It is important you know these formulas. Also learn about the circulatory or the circular motion, study about the centripetal force and also learn about the centrifugal force. Know which one keeps you moving a cycle and which force is there to push you out of moving in a cycle. So it is important that you learn this topics, that is mechanics. The next topic is heat and thermodynamics. Heat and thermodynamics is a very important physics topic when it comes to JAMB. So under heat and thermodynamics, please focus on this particular time on heat transfer. Know what is conduction, know what is convection and know what is radiation. Also learn the laws of thermodynamics. Learn the laws of thermodynamics, but focus on the first law of thermodynamics and their practical application. Focus on the first law of thermodynamics and their practical application. Also study gas laws when it comes to physics. Also study your gas laws like your Boyle's law, your Charles law, and learn also how to convert between Kelvin. Learn how to convert Kelvin to Celsius, Celsius to Kelvin, and also learn how to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit and Kelvin to Fahrenheit. Just learn how to convert between these temperature scales. It is very, very important when it comes to physics. This knowledge will also help you when it comes to chemistry. The third topic you're supposed to focus on is waves and optics. When it comes to waves and optics, learn the different types of waves, the transverse and the longitudinal waves. Learn about the wave properties, their wavelengths, their frequency, their amplitude, their speed. It is important that you learn about these wave properties. Also study about reflection, refraction, diffraction, and don't forget to study about lenses. It is very, very important. Don't forget to study about lens or study on lenses. Also learn diffraction and interferences. Understand simple wave behavior. It is important to understand simple wave behavior. Let me set the camera. Excuse me. Understand simple wave behavior. The next topic again is electricity and magnetism. Electricity and magnetism. Don't forget Uncle Ohm's law. Ohm's law. When you just think about electricity and magnetism in physics, learn about the Ohm's law. So for the Ohm's law, always know that V is equals to I arrow. So learn how to calculate resistance, learn how to calculate current, and learn how to calculate voltage. Also under the electricity and magnetism, learn about electric circuit, that is a series and a parallel circuit. Also study about electromagnetism, learn about magnetic fields, electromagnetic induction, and Faraday's laws of electrolysis. They are very, very important. Faraday's laws of electricity or electrolysis, please learn about them. Also study about the AC, that is the alternating current, and the direct current. Understand their differences and their application. Understand the difference between alternating currents, understand the direct current. Understand also their applications, where alternating current is being applied and where direct current is also applied. Study also on simple harmonic motions, that is the pendulum. Study about the simple harmonic motions. Examples of these simple harmonic motions is simple pendulum. Please, I hope you are writing it down, or this stuff I'm saying. Learn about the simple pendulum, learn about springs, and learn about strings. Also learn equations when it comes to simple harmonic motions. Also study the energy involved in simple harmonic motions, like the kinetic energy and the potential energy variations during their oscillation. So study about their kinetic energy and their potential energies variations during their oscillation. Also study your modern physics. Learn about the structure of the atoms. The structure of atoms like what the isotopes, the atomic masses, and the what mass number. Also learn about the what photoelectric effects on the Albert Einstein what equations, which is what E is equal to what H what F. Also learn about what radioactivity. Learn about alpha, the beta, and the gamma radiation. And next topic, sorry, just to Jesus. The next topic to focus on is electromagnetic waves. So under the electromagnetic waves, learn about the electromagnetic spectrum and their applications. And the last topic when it comes to JAMB physics, please, NEPA just took their light to NEPA just took their light. They want to rain in my area right now. So under the last topic is what gravitation. So under gravitation, simply learn the Newton's law of gravitation, gravitational field, and what potential what energy. So these are just the topics you are supposed to focus on right now if you are writing chemistry, if you are writing physics, and if you are writing what biology. I'm not saying you should go and start reading from afresh. What I'm just saying is right now this is where you are supposed to double up your revision, because these topics are topics that will always come out. Questions will always come out from these topics. So by your consistency, by your effort, JAMB is just left in 2 days, but I believe you are very prepared to smash JAMB. Cut off distraction. If it is Facebook that is going to disturb or distract you at this particular time, please cut off Facebook. If it is WhatsApp or if it is any social gathering that is going to distract you at this particular time, please just cut them off and focus on what is truly important, and that is smashing your JAMB score. Thank you for joining my live, and tomorrow we'll be going live to talk about a lot of topics when it comes to what JAMB chemistry. We're talking about acid, base, and salt, and a lot of them, including what past questions and what answers. Thank you so much, and I really love you. Your dream is valid, and may all your heart desire that you smash your JAMB UTME manifest. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you.